Jeff wrote this song 2 days ago. We started recording yesterday. He wrote this song 2 days ago.
That's right. Yeah. It is. Oh my. Oh, Grandpa!
I just together all these negative things that we say about the album. We send it
We're
to
a piece
Vinny.
of shit. Really stupid.
We shouldn't add a kick drum on that and that.
What do you mean?
That the very last hit.
He has this thing set up right now. Like nothing's coming out of there, and I didn't
Water on it?
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna explain some of the equipment that I'm using on this record. The guitar that I'm tracking the whole record with is this 81 Les Paul standard with EMGs. I've had it for 10 years, and it's pretty much my the one and only guitar that I use for everything. So it served me well in the past. I used it on the first record, and I'm gonna use it on this record. And then there's another vintage Les Paul that was Mick Mars's that we're gonna use a little bit on here too. What I'm gonna do with the tone is I'm gonna send a signal and split it in between the dual rectifier setup, and that's gonna give me the bulk of my sound because that's what I use on stage. But I'm gonna split the signal and then I'm gonna send it to another amp, which is gonna run a Heavy Metal 2 pedal into an old Sun amp that our singer picked up for $37. So I'm gonna use this as like my natural tone, and then sort of augment it with this, you know, Swedish death metal and Tomb Dismember style to kind of fill it out. And that's what we use for the first guitar track. And then when I do the second guitar track, I'm gonna stick with the Mesa and then try a different pedal in front of the Sun maybe, or we've got like a Matchless or an Orange or a Bad Cat. I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff in the studio that we might try for the second setup. So then I've got 4 guitar tracks, or 2 tracks, but 4 different tones, and I can blend how much of the Mesa and how much of the Sun I want in the one. Then on the other track, I can blend how much of the Mesa and how much of the whatever it is we do on that one. So I've got a lot of room to play with different sounds to get something that's unique. It doesn't sound copycat, but it's still rooted in how we sound live. Because we don't approach the studio like we want to just copy what we do live. I mean, it's the only chance to do stuff differently, so that's what we try and do. We've also got down here a blue box, which I'll probably end up using, which is this pedal right here. We might use that in some of the more stoner-oriented parts, just to give it like a gnarly, out-of-control, disgusting sound. We try and lose control when we're in the studio, as far as like just make it sound like it's a train that's just about to go off the rails, and you just manage to keep on without actually crashing. And that's the sort of intensity that we look for when we get in here. There's a lot of texture that we put into the guitars. Well, into the whole recording, we put a lot of texture in it. Just 2 normal guitar tracks, but then we'll just start layering it and putting a little bit of something here, a little bit of something there. Alright, normally when we do a record, you've got your drums in a room, and then you've got your amps either in the same room or you've got them in isolation booths. And you're isolating them because you don't want, obviously, any of that sound getting into the mics for the drum. So what Mark did this time, the engineer, is he wanted us to all be in the room and record the drums in complete silence, essentially, because I'm sending my signal from my guitar into my amp and then into this box, and the box is recording the raw signal, so that later we can go back, and I've got all the music that I played, the essential, the raw signal, but I can screw around with my amp settings and get the tone that I want later. So he's going to plug it right back into the amp and then hit record. So it's like you're recording the signal while you're doing the drum tracks, but you're not getting the sound until later. So it's going to give us a lot more leeway in how we want to screw around with our amp settings and get what we want. And once we have it down, we just mic up the amps and hit play. Essentially it's going to come out of there and we're just going to hit record. So it's kind of different for us. We've never done it that way. But, you know, I think it's going to be a good way to work.
Green Day, Black Sabbath, and that motherfucker with no fingers.
Well, anyways, this is where the magic happens. That's all you get of that. So, you know, yeah, we're really glad to be recording here with Mark again. Mark's an awesome guy and probably has the best ear for like sounds and engineering that we've ever worked with, any of us. That's including all the bands we've been in forever. He hears stuff that we have no clue that we even made it, and he's just picking it out of the air, fixing it for us, thank God. And he just built this studio. I mean, it just got done. It's not even completed yet. But this is like a world-class place, and really glad to be working with him. So, cool experience. Again, hopefully we get to do it one more time. We can con somebody into giving us money to record. So,
who are you recording this for?
This is going to be for a label called Paper and Plastic, who is Vinny, who's in the band Less Than Jake.
Huh.
And he used to be part owner or proprietor of Fueled by Ramen. But he's not involved in that anymore, so he has a new label, and he's super awesome and really wanted to put the record out and everything. So we were on Ferret, and we decided to part ways with Ferret, who were really great to us, but Ferret went through a lot of changes, and Carl, the owner of that label, started a new record label. So we just kind of shopped things around, and Vinny came through, and we're stoked about that too, because he's a good guy also. And sometimes it's hard to find really cool, genuine people, you know, in the business. So, and he doesn't expect a ton of us. We're not a huge selling band. We're not able to go on world tours or anything. So it's really awesome. He wants to, you know, help us out.
How long do you think it's going to take before this gets finalized, gets out there?
We're hoping to have an October on Halloween release date. I think that'd be a lot of fun and can do a lot of really cool things with it if it comes out then. But looking more towards the end part of the year. I mean, this will get done, the recording, the mixing will get done within a week or two. But then there's a lot of, you know, process that the label has to go through. They have other projects before us. And like I said, if we can make it on Halloween, we'd be stoked. So.